This is the Flowmaster Outlaw Extreme Catback Exhaust, available for the 2021 and newer 3.5 EcoBoost F-150s. Now you guys should be checking out the Outlaw Extreme if you want one of the loudest but yet most affordable setups currently available here on the site for your EcoBoost F-150 to ultimately change up the entire attitude of your truck while also adding some more off-road clearance at the same time. Now the Outlaw Extreme will combine a full stainless steel build here with the 3-inch mandrel bent tubing and of course that high clearance design, all for right around the $600 price point. All right, but as is tradition here at AT, let's just jump right into the sound clips you can expect with the Outlaw Extreme bolted up. And listen, this is certainly gonna pack plenty of volume, plenty of aggressiveness, but believe it or not, it's not as loud as you guys might think. Now, I know it looks like it's gonna be an absolute screamer, but somehow there's some magic in the system where yes, it's aggressive, but it's not over the top. And I know that's really hard to believe. Take my word for it. I'm gonna go 4 out of 5 here on my 1 to 5 or 1 to wake the neighbors scale. Yes, it's aggressive, but it's not a full-blown 5 out of 5. Now moving inside the cab, you have a couple of things working for you here. Obviously the Flowmaster system is aggressive, but on top of that, because this does dump right underneath the cab, essentially before that rear axle, you are gonna be picking up some more, interior noise, resonance, whatever you wanna call it. I wouldn't really call it drone per se, because believe it or not, again, this thing does kind of mellow out while cruising on the highway. But when you're romping on the truck, you are absolutely gonna hear this system installed. There's, again, really no way to get around it. So if you want something that is aggressive, but not make your ears bleed aggressive, the Outlaw here is certainly not going to disappoint. Construction-wise, well, as you might imagine, things are pretty simple here. In fact, you have a full stainless steel build working for you, 409 grade stainless to be exact, and that does make up things like the 3-inch mandrel bent tubing here, in addition to the Outlaw series muffler and that little turn down tip, which again, you won't be seeing because it is underneath the truck, basically right by that rear axle. Personally, I like that design because it really cleans up the rear of the truck, in addition to just giving you a lot more clearance off-road, which I think is one of the biggest features here with this particular system. Now, the back half of the system, if you can even call it that, is given a high temp black coating. And again, that will help the system disappear under the truck, but also protect that stainless steel in the long run. Flowmaster does kick in all of your pre-welded hangers in the factory location here, of course. They do give you all the clamps needed to get everything together. And because you are working with a full stainless build here, they are gonna back this system with their limited lifetime warranty. All right, moving into price point, and the Flowmaster Outlaw Extreme, in my humble opinion, is packing plenty of bang for your buck. And that is the case here when we're talking about things like materials, full stainless steel build, in addition to that lifetime warranty, all for right around $600, which honestly makes this one of the more affordable full stainless systems available here on the site when we're talking turn downs. Now, MBRP does also offer one as well. Theirs is their Armor Light system, so it's aluminized steel, which isn't gonna give you that kind of robustness that you're getting out of the Flowmaster here. So a couple of things to factor into that price point again, but for my money, if you're wanting an aggressive system, full stainless build, lifetime warranty, you name it, this is certainly a great choice. All right, moving into the installation, and the site's gonna call this one a 2 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, taking you a couple of hours to complete from start to finish. And honestly, guys, most of that time is probably gonna be spent removing your factory system. But now to give you a better idea of how this one might go down in the garage or driveway at home, let's throw it out to the shop for our detailed walkthrough and tool breakdown.
Tools required for this install include an impact gun, a ratchet, exhaust hanger remover tool, 10 and 13 millimeter swivel sockets, 15 millimeter socket, and an extension.
What's up guys? Today we're installing an exhaust on our F-150. First we're going to watch a quick uninstall video showing you how to remove your factory exhaust, and I'll meet you back here for the install.
So we've got the truck up in the air, and the first thing we're going to need to do is remove our factory setup. We're going to start with our 15 millimeter clamp here at our flex pipe. So we're going to grab our 15 mil socket on our impact and loosen this up. So we'll come up here and loosen this clamp. Next, we can unbolt the brackets for our 2 hanger isolators here on our frame rail. For that, we're going to use our 10mm socket and extension on our ratchet. You want to hold on to this hardware when you remove it. Next, we're going to remove our hanger isolator for our muffler section. And the easiest way to do that is to use your 10mm socket and extension on your impact and unbolt it. Now we do have a pole jack underneath our muffler to help support it. And once you have it unbolted, it does have a tab on the other side. Just have to lower this pole jack down a bit, get that out of its seat. Make sure that's free and clear. Now we can unbolt our rear hanger bracket section, again with our 10mm socket and extension on our impact. There is also a bolt on the inside of the frame rail. You want to support your exhaust when you do this. Now we can come up to our 2-bolt flange and remove the two 13mm bolts holding that in place. Now we do have an extra set of hands at the rear of the exhaust because once we unbolt this, we'll bring this back and take it out of the truck. We've got our 13mm socket and extension on our impact. We'll get these out. We're going to hold on to these bolts. Once we clear the cross member, we can bring the front of our exhaust down, get the tail over the axle.
Now before we start installing any pipes, depending on your cab and bed configuration of your truck, you might only be using the front pipe, you might have to cut the front pipe, you might use both the front pipe and extension pipe, or you might need to cut a little off the extension pipe. Now for our configuration, we have a super crew cab with a 6.5 foot bed, so we need to take 6 inches off the extension pipe and use it with the front pipe. So I've got a tape measure and a marker. I'm gonna mark 6 inches and then we'll take this over to the saw and make our cut. Make my marker right at 6, and we'll go over to the saw. So now we're over at our saw. I've got my pipe clamped down so that my mark is directly under my blade, and now we're just gonna make our cut. And now we're gonna come over to the grinder and clean up our edges. Now that we have our cut made, we can move on to installing our front pipe. Now we have this flange that we're going to need to slide on. One side of this is flat and one side has a beveled edge. The beveled edge is going towards the flange up front. So slide that on and then raise your pipe up. I've got a pole jack here just to support the weight of the pipe. And I'll thread my 2 factory bolts through the flange into our factory flange. And then I'm just gonna adjust my pole jack to straighten out my flange before I tighten it down. And then grab a 13mm swivel socket and I'm just gonna go back and forth to tighten this flange evenly. Next we can install our extension pipe if you're using this. So take a clamp,
slide it on the edge there. Connect that up to your front pipe, and then grab a 15mm socket to tighten down your clamp. Now for our turn down pipe, I'm gonna throw our 2 factory hangers onto our rods first before I get it up into place. So this is the middle one that bolts into the cross member. You wanna make sure that the hole is on this side. And then the one that goes to the side of our frame. And now we can raise this up into place and we'll bolt those hangers back up. So now we're gonna take our pipe and slide a clamp on the edge and then raise this up into place. So now I'm going to take the 2 bolts and put it through this hanger into those U-clips in the frame. And then I'll hop back to the one at the cross member, slide the tab into one side, thread your bolt through into that U-clip on the other side. And then I'm going to grab a 10mm swivel socket and start tightening these down. And now lastly, we'll go back to our clamp and take a 15mm socket to tighten it down. So that'll wrap up this review and install of the Flowmaster Outlaw Extreme single exhaust system with black tip turn down for your 2021 and newer 3.5 liter EcoBoost F-150, excluding Raptor and Tremor. Thank you for watching, and for all things F-150, keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.